Welcome to your home, your market, your move. We're the Cerretani Team, and this is where real estate gets real. Let's go. Welcome to your home, your market, and your move with the Cerretani Team. And we're going to talk about 2026 design trends.
Ooh, my favorite topic.
I know, right? So we have Tina Lynch from Tina Lynch Designs, Ashley Cookson from Movement Mortgage, and Jenna Goulart from Jack Conway. I'm Leanne Cerretani. So what is going on, Tina? Tell us what's happening with 2026, because I know that I loved my gray, and everybody did loved gray. So what's happening with gray this year?
Gray, the cool gray is out, but the warm grays still remain. So, and if you have cool gray, there's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to get rid of the cool gray. So if you love gray, you love gray. But again, it's leaning towards all of the warmth. So warm gray, beiges are and on trend. The browns, the taupes, and the warm creamy whites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy you mentioned white, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So, because white is not always white.
Oh, no, it's not. So if you're at that paint store and you have a paint chip and you're looking at it, it's going to look white. You take another paint chip that looks white, you put them together, and you'll see their undertones. So if you're ever wondering what undertone your white is, take a bunch of the white paint chips, put them together, and you'll see a white undertone or yellow undertone or even a light green undertone. You'll see all the undertones, and that holds true for all colors. If you want to know what their undertones are, just take different colors of the same color, like different grays, paint chips, put them together. You'll see
And you'll see the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's really important.
Very important.
So let's get back to what the trends are. So you said warm. Warm is coming in, the cool is out.
Cool is out. Like I said, it's the warm terracottas are in, the browns are in, the taupes are in, the beiges are in, the soft, warm, creamy whites are in.
Okay.
Um,
So what does that look like in a kitchen?
Gorgeous. It looks, you do wood cabinetry, you can do maple, you can do mahogany.
So wood is really coming back
Oh, yes.
because we saw a lot of painted cabinetry for a long time.
Right.
Okay.
You could still have your colored cabinetry. It's still on trend, but it's not as on trend as the wood tones are this year.
Any particular wood tones?
The white oak is so on trend. Right?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And also black hardware is out, matte black.
Oh, no more black.
No more black.
Uh-oh.
If you want to do black, satin black is fine, or the antique bronze is fine. But the matte black is out, especially for buyers when they see matte black when they're looking at a home. Buyers tend to see that there's going to be fingerprints. It's going to be hard to keep clean.
Okay.
So I would stay away from black matte.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And then color choices for paint. When you have those wood tones, like I always think it's hard to find a color. Can any color go?
Pretty much, yeah, especially with the lighter wood tones and the mid-wood tones flooring. You can really put any color on the wall as long as it's a warm tone color on the wall.
Okay. So it's not any color. It has to be warm tone.
It has to be warm.
Okay.
Meaning, I guess I was just meaning like the depth of the color, light or
I gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's great. What about bathrooms? Like, are we seeing anything different with bathrooms?
Yes, we're seeing still the warmth, and we're also seeing using the same tile on the floor and on the walls. So tile drenching, if you want to call it, except for the ceilings and the baseboard and the tread.
Tile drenching. Okay.
Yes.
So carrying the whole like floor of the bathroom up your tile wall.
Yeah, I'm not saying everybody has to do it. I'm just saying it's the trend for 2026. And
Okay.
the bathroom feel bigger because it's eliminating.
Sure. That makes sense. So in terms of bathrooms, is it different for your primary bathroom versus like your hallway bathroom? Like, are there any trends that they should be different or should they be the same?
Different. I think they should be different, but have a color connection.
Okay.
At least one color in its connection. Like if you're doing the primary, say in Taj Mahal countertop, which is very earthy and very brown, you don't necessarily have to do that one in the hallway bathroom. You can do one that's a solid color pulled from the Taj Mahal in the master bathroom countertop. So it's all about a visual color connection for each bathroom.
Even though they're in separate rooms.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I would never do the same bathroom in the same material, both bathrooms.
Now, what about flooring? Like to me, this is interesting, and you guys have probably have seen this where you walk into a home and they did a renovation and they renovated their kitchen and then they renovated the dining room next to it or the eaten part of the kitchen, all one flooring. But then the living room next to it, they put in a different flooring, not carpet, but like a different hardwood flooring. And then the hallway has a different hardwood flooring, like or vinyl planking, like, and you have like 3 or 4 different colors that are running through. Um, I'm assuming that's not on trend.
You are correct.
It's not on trend.
The same flooring throughout is on trend, except for, of course, the bathrooms.
Okay.
And even the kitchens, you can get away with putting tile in the kitchen. Even if it's an open concept, the kitchen to the dining room and living room, you can still do tile on the kitchen floor and then do the hardwood or vinyl or engineered wood throughout the rest of the home.
Okay. Some people do put hardwood floors in their kitchens, though.
And you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it? To me, it was always a strange thing to think about hardwood floors in your kitchen because of water,
Right.
right? But I see people do that.
Yep, people do that, and you can do it. But for those that want tile in their kitchen in an open concept, you can do that. And depending on the kitchen, there's a place where the tile should stop and the hardwood can begin. But I would have to see the space first before I can tell you where.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then what about hardwood flooring itself? Like, are there colors that are on trend in 2026?
The white oak is so on trend.
Okay.
And
What about plank size? Because like I always see that go in and out.
the wider the sign, the better.
Oh, the wider, the better?
Yep, but on today's trends or 2026 trends, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I have seen wider planks. So bigger than 5-inch,
Right.
more like 7-inch, 8-inch.
7 inches is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it makes the space feel bigger too. The wider the planks you can get into the space.
Yes.
And also getting back to tile for bathrooms, the bigger the tile you can get into that space, the bigger that bathroom's going to feel.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
There's lots of design tricks that you can do to make a space feel bigger.
Oh, that's great. How expensive like is vinyl planking versus hardwood floors? Like when you think about affordability, I see people who are flipping homes and they'll put the vinyl planking in versus the hardwood floors. I also see new construction that they're using some vinyl planking, which I thought was strange because I always felt like hardwood floor is really the way to go for quality. Is that still the case?
It depends on, I think, where the house is located.
Okay.
If this house is in a high-end neighborhood, a high-end town, hardwood all the way.
Okay.
And I feel like if the house is in a lesser neighborhood or a lesser town, you can get away with a good luxury vinyl that looks
Like a lower price point.
yeah, vinyl. A good luxury vinyl could go between anywhere between $350 all the way up to $675 a square foot, where hardwood is $675 and up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So hardwood is still the master, right? It's like it's the best choice to go with. But you're saying it should be white oak.
White oak, yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
the
that's
black
interesting. Okay. Great. White oak. That's nice to hear. And the warmer colors.
So warmer colors.
Okay.
Yes.
And no black matte.
No matte black.
Okay. Did I say something funny like black matte or matte black? I said it reversed. I do that all the time.
We knew what you meant.
Matte black, black matte. Okay. So tell me about brushed nickel versus gold because I see a lot of gold.
Gold is still on trend because it's warm.
Okay.
Chrome is a big in 2026, and also polished nickel. It's
Yeah.
a very warm, shiny nickel, and it's
Polished nickel versus brushed nickel?
polished nickel is not as warm as the gold. Polished nickel is warmer than chrome. It's hard to explain, but it's gorgeous. It's in between, but
Okay.
it's shiny,
Huh.
and it's
Okay.
it's just beautiful. And it's
Oh, no.
so on trend.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to look next time I come into a design store. I'll have to look for the polished nickel. I don't know if I've seen that. It's different.
Between gold and chrome, it's right in the middle.
Okay.
And it's very warm.
Oh, nice. So it's not as flashy as the gold.
No, but it's shiny like the gold, and it's shiny like the chrome.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Well, I'll have to go check that one out. That's great.
It's beautiful.
So let's talk about whites, because white to me is so interesting. I know you talked a little bit about the undertones, which is important. But how do you decide which white to go with? Because I think that is really the ultimate decision maker. Is like, how do you decide?
It depends on the fixed elements in the space that you're painting.
Okay.
For example, if your cabinets are already like Chantilly lace, which is a Benjamin Moore white color, which is the whitest of all whites. It's the coolest of all whites.
Okay.
If your cabinetry in your kitchen is Chantilly lace, then you're going to paint your walls and you want to paint it a white, just carry that Chantilly lace around the walls in the kitchen. Or the room that you're painting that is off the Chantilly based cabinet. And also, it's important, if you are going to paint the walls a white, you should also paint the ceiling the same color, the baseboard the same color, all doors and trims the same color as that white. Because if you start doing different whites on the ceiling, the wall, the baseboards, because most people paint the ceilings a bright white, then the baseboards the same bright white, the trim and the doors the same bright white, and then they paint the walls a warmer white. It's going to look off. So if you are doing it white, color drench the whole space.
Okay.
Trust me, it works.
Yeah, I bet that would probably make some room feel really big too, really big. And you just want to make sure that you do your baseboards, your trim, and your doors in a satin finish, walls in an eggshell, and ceiling in a flat finish. Okay.
And you'll get a little differences between the sheens, and that's what makes it look.
So it'll be the same color but different sheens. Oh, that sounds really cool. I like that. That's a great tip.
Yeah, it's called color drenching, but it's for some people and not for all. But if you are painting your walls a white, I highly recommend color drenching in the same white.
Okay. How do you know? Like, how do you know what color, like, white you have? Like, like, for example, when I first moved into my house, I didn't know what color my woodwork was. And I just assumed it was just a white. And so my mother actually wanted her room to be like her white walls, and we just picked out a white. And I didn't even think to match, and it actually looked ridiculous because we didn't pick the right white. So how do you know? Like, how can you figure out what white you have? If it's warm, cool, undertone of pink or green, like how do I know?
If it's in your home and you want to know, like say if it's a door that's already been painted and you want to match that white, then what you can do is go to the paint store and you could, or go to any store or get a white, like a solid white poster board or something that's 100% white. Bring it to that door per se that you're trying to match, and you'll see the undertone of that door because it's next
Okay.
to a
That's a good
solid
idea.
bright
That's a
white.
great
Even just like
idea.
a regular
Yeah.
piece of paper. That
Yeah,
you
or
put
piece of
in.
paper. Yeah.
Okay. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That
it's all
would-
about connecting them together.
Unless you're
putting them together.
colorblind, then you might really have a hard time.
Maybe not with white.
I know. All right. Well, that's good. That's a great recommendation. I love that idea. I was in a house recently for a new listing, and the woman was from Ohio, and she moved here to the Cape, and she painted all her doors black. She wanted like that country vibe, which I don't see a lot here, being in New England. And I was like, it looked amazing. And so I was curious, like, what are your thoughts about that? Would that go here in New England? Like, or is it, I mean, it looked gorgeous in her house, but I was thinking about the upkeep of black doors. Like,
The almost worse. Black's another color that has a lot of undertones that you have to be careful of. So you got to bring all those black chits that you're interested in, put them together, and you'll see the green, the blue, the burgundy, perhaps undertone.
how interesting.
So getting back to should they be painted black, I think that's a personal preference.
Yeah.
It was definitely so hot and on trend in 2024 and 2025, but we're kind of going away from that.
Oh, interesting.
year.
Okay.
And really, the color drenching is what's really taking off.
The color drenching to me, when you first mentioned that to me, and I was trying to convince my husband to color drench our living room in Falmouth, and he was not buying in. He's a very traditional kind of guy,
A lot of people don't.
right? But when you showed me one of the houses that your client drenched, I was like, oh my
I
God.
did our dining room, and I would never go back.
Really? You loved it? What color did you drench your dining room?
It's like a colonial navy kind of.
Ooh.
And my husband was nervous, and the
'Cause that's
guy at
dark.
the paint store thought I was crazy. And I was like, no, I want everything the same exact color. And it's so cozy.
It's
Oh
very
my
cozy.
We have a
gosh.
fireplace in there.
And-
It's just
Oh,
like,
that sounds awesome.
Even if the room is small and you color drench
Yeah.
with a darker color, it's going to
Make the room feel bigger because you're eliminating contrast. A lot of people paint their walls a color and then they paint the ceiling's white. So where the wall ends and the ceiling begins, there's a division of color. Even if it's a subtle line or a dramatic line, your eye will stop there as a division of color, making the
room feel
like everything
shorter.
else pops against
Yeah.
it. Kind of.
That too. That
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
So by
wow.
drenching it, your eye has no place to stop, so
Yeah.
it continues to go, visually making it feel bigger. So,
Oh, that's awesome. That
Yeah.
sounds really cool.
Cool. Have you seen, so doors, going back to doors, wooden, anything about like wooden doors? Or is that more of like a country, like farmhouse, still kind of a model?
I feel like it depends on the condition of the doors, whether or not they should be painted or restained. I think wooden doors,
What if they're brand new?
if you love the color, then keep it. It's a personal preference, I feel.
Do you keep the trim wood around it, or do you paint the trim when you're doing like a wooden door?
That's another personal preference. You can go either way.
I don't mean like old wooden doors that we see in houses. I mean like a
New
new
construction.
construction
Yeah.
of like a modern, like that oak color,
White
like
oak,
that white
yeah.
oak in like a
Mm.
door.
That's
Color.
a personal preference. I mean, the white oak is so on trend, even indoors and even in trims, but that's a personal preference. And
And
as
we-
far as
And you would keep, so I'm just thinking, if I were putting in a white oak door to all my bedrooms, I think I would keep the trim white oak too.
yeah, you would, but it's a personal preference. A lot of people just like to have the doors just the wood,
True, right.
and then the
right.
trim
Yeah,
a,
and you have
a
like
different
the pop
color.
of the door.
Yeah.
Right. I can see that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of course, the wood is
warm, so you want your trim to be warm.
What should you not do
you should not.
when you're remodeling, say, any room? What should you not do?
Well, as far as painting, you should not mix cool and warm paints together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just you can mix warm and cool decorating together, but
Got it.
not paint. Um,
Okay.
As far as renovating, just make sure you stick with
The big ticket items, the fixed elements, just make sure you stick with the warms and the cools of the cools if you want the cools.
Okay. Okay. So
I
the
think
fixed
that's a big
elements.
key. I think
It
that's
is.
a big key of painting a house. That you just said that to clients that potentially are looking at a home or they could not feel that home, and it might be the paint color on the wall, and we don't
Right.
know that. So that's a great thing that you just brought up to us that we could bring up to our clients, because it might feel something feels off and it could be the paint color, and we didn't think about the warm versus the cool of colors. That
And
are
with
together.
the use of AI, like
Oh.
you had just mentioned ChatGPT changing the room. I wonder if we just took our phone, snapped a picture of that room while the clients are looking around, plug that into ChatGPT and just give it a couple of instructions and ask them, what do you think of this room now?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
When we're showing buyers, because honestly, we do this every day and we're
Right.
in so many houses and we talk to clients all the time that we have really learned to look past like what's right in front of us. We have a vision. The average person does not have a vision to think about that. So maybe that's a good thing that maybe we should start doing with our clients and helping them out. It's a good use of AI. It's a proper use of AI to do that. I might even do it in my own house. So
Yeah.
you mentioned make sure you keep your cools and your warms separate
when it comes to the
to
fixed-
permanent fixtures,
yeah,
right?
for the fixed elements. But again, you can decorate with warm and cool.
Right.
But fixed elements, stick with the cools if that's what you like. Stick with the warms if that's what you like.
Okay. And what would be another do not do?
Oh, as far as painting,
Anything, I think decorating, whether you're-
decorating,
anything like floors and like anything you shouldn't mix.
I would
Just
not,
all about color.
if you have warm wood floors, with most of them are,
Yep.
I would definitely not put a cold or cool paint color on the walls, because that's just going to clash and look garish.
Oh, that's interesting because a lot of our homes that were built like have that. They're not white oak, but they're an oak floor,
Mhm.
right? And so people just put whatever color they want up, and but it really makes a difference. If those floors are warm, which they all are,
You got that gray trend. Remember the gray trend?
right. So make sure that, I know, because we had warm floors and people put up gray. You have to make sure it's a warm gray.
Right.
Okay. Because floors aren't typically cool.
No, except for when we were installing gray
Carpet,
Well, yeah, gray carpet, and also remember the
vinyl
vinyl
planking.
that was gray. Remember when the gray
Yeah.
10 years
Yes,
ago
yeah.
was in, yeah. So a lot of people were putting the gray flooring down, and that had cool gray. Cool gray could go up on the
Yeah.
wall.
Or a cool color can go up on the walls.
So.
When else would you use a cool color? It seems like to me mostly you would use warm colors in your home. But
If you have Carrara marble
okay.
or a
Cool marble countertop, then I would definitely stick with the cools for your cabinetry and your walls. Okay. Is that the fixed element?
Is marble a good thing to use on your kitchen countertops?
if you want to upkeep it, sure.
I know, right?
What about lighting though? Because like I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys, but light bulbs drive me nuts.
Yeah.
You love the way your room looks. You have it the way you want, whether it be cool or warm. And then you go to the store and you have to replace a light bulb. And now I feel like the paint looks completely different and it's not what I wanted. And I just get so caught up. I don't know what to get for light bulbs.
Well, they
There's
have
too many
the
options.
warm
too many
whites.
choices. It's crazy,
Just
isn't
stick
it?
with the warm white bulbs and
Always
you'll be fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have issues with recessed lighting, right?
They're
So
outdated, by the way.
recessed lighting.
Yes.
Then what are you doing for all your new
Lamps.
construction?
Well, new constructions are still using them, but for the design world, they're very outdated. They're all using the lamps, the floor lamps, task lighting, ambiance lighting,
Oh,
and it
interesting.
works actually better than a recessed lighting.
Unless
never
you're
use
getting
mine.
old like me and you really need extra light to see everything.
I want them to get on trend with
Smoke detectors and things like that.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I do
Oh,
love
right.
the color drenching and I get so frustrated because then you have to put a white smoke detector
I know.
on a colored
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah.
And I know that seems so silly and it's there for safety, but I just
And you're
feel
not
like
allowed
that's
to
a
paint. You
huge
really shouldn't
place
paint
in
them.
the market that there's like
Yeah.
I know. They need to like up
some
there.
designer like
Smoke detectors. That's a good. All right, did everybody hear that?
Yeah. Make
Give us
colored
some
smoke
colored
detectors.
smoke detectors because you can't, when you paint them, you can damage
Well, like a
the
design.
sensors.
Well, you have the light
Package.
switches now that are like you can get like a graphite or like a black, so you could
Right.
get close to the color so it doesn't like you were saying with the trim sticking out, so it doesn't stick out. And
Right.
I feel like that is the only problem I've personally had color drenching is trying to not get those other elements that you really don't want to draw your eye to,
Right.
that are necessity from sticking out.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to painting your walls, I believe every room comes from an inspiration. So if it's the kitchen, you're going to take your inspiration from the fifth element, which could be the flooring.
It could be the cabinet color. It could also be the countertop that you pick. So painting is always last in my books because it's coming from the sixth element. If it's a living room or a bedroom,
Paint can come, inspiration can come anywhere.
Like a piece of art.
piece of art, a rug, your favorite blouse, for example. I mean, it could come from anywhere, and you just pull colors from that. So it all comes from the fixed elements.
if it's a kitchen or bathroom, if it's another room in the house, it comes from a piece of art or rug or anything that you really love. And just start pulling colors from there. And before you know it, you'll have a design room. Oh, wow.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. That was so helpful. I do know about the warm light, but the recessed lighting is really a little bit of annoyance because now they have the new light bulbs that they come with every single color light.
Yes, they do.
Right? So you can do bright, you can do warm, but honestly, I just want warm light.
Just
I
stick with
really
warm
don't
light.
like the bright light. You feel like you're in,
I don't either.
A
a
hospital.
a hospital. You really
Yeah.
feel like you're in a hospital. And this is great. This is so helpful. I think I'm going to be bringing you with me to my buyers' home searches. You can
Great.
help them
See the vision.
See the
Yeah.
vision, right? Yeah, that's great. Anything else that we could talk about for 2026?
No, just stick with the warms. Painting your walls from a fixed element or inspiration piece. Color drenching is wonderful.
Right.
If you want to make your space feel bigger with color, less
Contrast is key,
Right.
It's always
Right.
the paint color that gets blamed for making a space feel big or small,
but it's not the paint color.
It's how it's used.
it's contrast.
Yeah. Okay.
The more
The
contrast you
yep.
add in a room, the more it's going to feel smaller.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a wrap.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.